Breaking news. I just got out of the House Appropriations Committee where the majority Democrats voted to lessen the penalties for sex offenders if they fail to register. I ran an amendment tonight in that committee that said if they failed to register more than once, they would have to be located away from our children, within 500 yards and beyond of a school, a playground, a community swimming pool. And the majority Democrats said no, they did not want that to happen. I was very upset.
Virginia Democrats adding to their laundry list of radical proposals. This is a new bill. It's moving through the state's legislature, and it would eliminate mandatory minimum prison sentences for serious crimes. These include rape and violent sexual assault, voluntary manslaughter, assaults on law enforcement officers, certain child pornography offenses, and mandatory minimums tied to firearms, drugs, and DUI offenses. Sounds like a great idea.
48. The underlying bill essentially states that schools can wait 48 hours before they tell parents if their children were involved in any kind of criminal action or if there was any sexual misconduct of staff. We have seen a stunning amount of sexual misconduct and sexual assaults by educators in our schools just in the last year itself, including two principals in a Vancouver school district that hid from parents a statutory rape of a 16-year-old female student in their school by one of their staff. Now, as a parent myself, I would be disgusted and sickened to know if my kids had some kind of sexual abuse put upon them by staff, and I wasn't notified immediately of those things. Now, this happened actually in my kid's school district, where an 8th grade school teacher was grooming and having inappropriate sexual relationships with 8th grade boys. This is all too much commonplace, and parents deserve to know right away whenever there is any kind of criminal activity or sexual abuse or sexual allegations of staff that goes along with the safety of their children. For God's sake, please vote yes.
Speaking to the bill.
Doug has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, speaking of the bill, a lot of red on the board today, and that's okay. But before you throw up all reds on this, I just want to make sure you know what you're voting for, because you tend not to read your bills. So this one right here says that the commissioner shall prohibit the employment of any instructor, that's a teacher, of a driver education course if such instructor has been convicted of a felony in violation of a whole bunch of numbers. I hate code sections like that, so let me tell you exactly what the numbers mean. Abduction with intent to defile, for prostitution, child, or I don't even know what that word means. Rape, carnal knowledge of a child 13 to 15, carnal knowledge by a custodian or a teacher, forcible sodomy, object sexual penetration, aggravated sexual battery, attempted rape, sodomy, sexual battery, taking indecent liberties with children, crimes against nature, which means sodomy with minors, incest, taking indecent liberties with child by person in custodial relationship, taking indecent liberties with child by a person who is less than 18, abuse and neglect of children, which means felony sexual abuse, production, distribution, possession with intent to distribute child pornography. That's what you're voting to allow truck drivers in the Commonwealth to still have a CDL even though they're convicted of one of those felonies. Now let me tell you why that matters. Because according to the Polaris Project, which is the biggest nonprofit organization dedicated to ending human trafficking and modern-day slavery, says that 82% of respondents were trafficked from the transportation industry. Just want you to know that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the bill.
It was Denim Day in the State Assembly, the annual event when lawmakers can be seen in jeans and denim jackets for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. But some Democrats arrived to the Assembly floor Thursday hoping to avoid that talk, scrambling to shut down a Republican push to vote on a proposed automatic felony for the buyers or sex solicitors of 16 and 17-year-olds. After